Hello friends, welcome to YR Today. On this channel, we regularly share the latest news and spoilers from American TV shows. So, let's get into today's important update. Will Kane's kids ever forgive him on Young and the Restless? This week's slow burn goes to Kane's kids on the Young and the Restless. He finally confessed everything. Now, the ball is in their court. Will they finally forgive their father for all he's done? Kane's confessions. Lily, Christel Khalil, encouraged Kane, Billy Flynn, to make things right by confessing to their kids about everything that happened. He created the Aristotle Dumas alias to start his own business empire. Everything turned out to be a lie, and now the so-called Dumas is a cheat, a liar, and a fraud. So, instead of snapping up everyone's businesses in Genoa City, he wants to get his family back. Read this. YNR fans believe Charlie and Maddie's reaction is silly. Kane shared a video with Maddie, ex-Lexi Stevenson, and Charlie, ex-Noah Alexander Jerry, explaining everything he did and why he did it. Kane was tired of failing and wanted to prove to himself and his family that he could be successful. He's hoping that his kids will forgive him for lying to them all this time. What now? It's up to his kids to decide whether they still want a relationship with their father. Arguably, though, having an alias doesn't make him a cheat or a liar. Kane isn't the only one who's used an alias to become a billionaire overnight. He wasn't trying to deceive his family. He was working hard to become successful, and he managed to pull it off. Obviously, it's going to take Kane's kids some time to forgive him. But they need to realize that he wasn't intentionally trying to hurt them. We could see this storyline become a slow burn, and eventually, they could return to Genoa City. It's not fair not to have them on the soap. Kane and Lily waste no time dropping their names every time they talk. Hopefully, this means that Maddie and Charlie will come back in some form. We'd love to see their reaction to their father's apology. And maybe this reunion could bring Lily and Kane back together again. Of course, their reconciliation will also be a slow-burning one, in which Kane will have to rebuild Lily's trust. Will Kane's kids ever forgive him on Young and the Restless? The question every fan is asking. Kane Ashby has long been a character whose actions on the Young and the Restless have left viewers torn between sympathy and frustration. Known for his charm, intelligence, and occasional moral lapses, Kane has found himself entangled in schemes, romantic entanglements, and corporate battles that have frequently placed him at odds with those he loves most, his children. As recent storylines have shown, the tension between Kane and his kids has reached a boiling point, leaving fans wondering whether reconciliation is even possible or if the damage is irreparable. From the moment Kane entered Genoa City, his life has been a roller coaster. Introduced initially as a love interest for Lily Winters, his storylines quickly expanded to include corporate intrigue, family drama, and personal struggles. While fans initially saw Kane as a reliable and supportive figure, his more questionable decisions over the years, ranging from corporate betrayals to romantic missteps, have planted seeds of doubt in the minds of his children, who are now growing into independent individuals with their own perspectives on right and wrong. Kane's primary challenge in earning forgiveness from his kids lies in the complexity of his mistakes. Unlike minor misunderstandings or fleeting lapses in judgment, Kane's actions have often had long-term consequences for those around him. Whether it was putting his own desires above his family's well-being or making ethically questionable business moves that endangered those he cared about, Kane has created a legacy of hurt that cannot be undone overnight. Fans of the show are acutely aware that while Kane is capable of deep remorse and heartfelt apologies, his children, particularly those who have witnessed the fallout firsthand, have valid reasons for feeling betrayed. At the center of the conflict is Kane's eldest child, who has grown increasingly skeptical of his father's motivations. This skepticism is compounded by the constant media scrutiny and the business pressures inherent in Genoa City's high-stakes environment. The children are not only processing Kane's past mistakes but also navigating their own identities and moral compasses in a world where power plays, betrayal, and corporate warfare are routine. It's this combination of personal growth and inherited skepticism that makes their potential forgiveness a delicate and complicated process. Cain's younger children, meanwhile, are navigating the situation differently. While some may still harbor feelings of love and loyalty toward their father, they are also witnessing the strain his choices have placed on the family unit. These children are more impressionable, and the tension between unconditional love and learned caution is palpable in recent episodes. The writers of The Young and the Restless have expertly highlighted these dynamics, showcasing moments of tender connection disrupted by conflict and moments of conflict softened by familial bonds. One of the recurring themes in Cain's journey toward redemption is his willingness, or at times, his inability, to confront the consequences of his actions. Forgiveness from his children will require more than casual apologies or temporary reconciliations. It will demand consistent, visible effort to rebuild trust. In the soap opera world, where plot twists and cliffhangers dominate, this means Cain must navigate not only his own mistakes but also external threats that test the family's cohesion. Whether it's corporate adversaries, romantic entanglements, or old enemies resurfacing, every challenge becomes a potential stumbling block or an opportunity for Cain to demonstrate genuine change. Fans have also speculated about the role of Cain's romantic life in influencing his children's willingness to forgive. Historical patterns on The Young and the Restless show that children often judge parents not just by their professional or personal mistakes but also by the partners they choose. Cain's relationships, particularly those that have sparked drama or public scandal, have added layers of tension to his family dynamics. His children are keenly aware of how his romantic decisions ripple through the family, affecting their security and trust. This scrutiny means Cain's path to forgiveness is intertwined with his ability to demonstrate emotional stability and commitment not just to his children, but to the values they hold dear. Psychological realism has been a hallmark of Cain's storyline in recent seasons, adding depth to the question of forgiveness. Viewers have witnessed Cain struggling with guilt, anxiety, and the fear of losing his family, all while trying to maintain his position in Genoa City's complex social and corporate landscape. These internal conflicts make Cain a more relatable character, yet they also highlight the difficulty of earning forgiveness. His children are not simply looking for apologies, they are seeking evidence that Cain has fundamentally changed, that he understands the weight of his actions, and that he can be trusted to prioritize their well-being over his own ambitions or desires. The showrunners have skillfully used tension between Cain and his children to explore broader themes of morality, legacy, and family loyalty. In many ways, Cain's story mirrors real dynamics where parents must reconcile their personal flaws with the expectations and needs of their children. The emotional resonance of these storylines has sparked extensive discussion among fans, with social media platforms buzzing with theories, predictions, and passionate debates. Will Cain's children ever forgive him completely? Some fans argue that deep wounds may never fully heal, while others maintain hope that Cain's enduring love and consistent efforts could bridge the gap over time. Recent episodes have hinted at potential paths to reconciliation, showcasing moments of vulnerability and tentative connection between Cain and his children. In one particularly poignant scene, Cain attempts to engage in open dialogue with his eldest child, acknowledging past mistakes and expressing a desire to rebuild trust. While the interaction is fraught with tension, it demonstrates a critical step forward, Cain's willingness to face difficult truths and allow his children to voice their pain. These moments are significant because they underscore the gradual, non-linear process of forgiveness. In soap operas, as in life, reconciliation is rarely immediate or guaranteed, it is earned incrementally through consistent, meaningful action. Another key factor influencing the potential for forgiveness is the presence of external influences. Friends, relatives, and business associates often serve as mediators or antagonists, shaping the dynamics between Cain and his children. Allies who support Cain's efforts to make amends can reinforce his credibility, while adversaries or opportunistic figures may exacerbate tensions, tempting his children to withhold forgiveness. This interplay adds dramatic tension and unpredictability, keeping viewers invested in every twist and turn. Soap opera storytelling also allows for exploration of long-term consequences. Cain's children are depicted as intelligent, perceptive, and capable of nuanced judgment. They are not passive recipients of their father's actions, they actively interpret, question, and respond to them. This agency is crucial because it means that forgiveness, if it comes, will be meaningful and earned, rather than convenient or contrived. It is this emphasis on authenticity that makes Cain's journey compelling, ensuring that audiences remain emotionally engaged in the evolving narrative. Interestingly, forgiveness on the young and the restless is often intertwined with moments of crisis or external threat. Cain's children may be more inclined to reconsider past grievances when they witness their father acting courageously or selflessly, particularly in situations where the family's well-being is at stake. Whether through corporate maneuvering, protecting loved ones from harm, or personal sacrifice, Cain has opportunities to demonstrate the depth of his commitment, offering glimpses of the father they hope he can be. These high-stakes moments serve as catalysts for emotional growth and reconciliation, creating a narrative rhythm that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. Speculation among fans about the ultimate outcome is rampant. Social media discussions, fan forums, and entertainment news outlets frequently dissect Cain's actions, his children's reactions, and the likelihood of reconciliation. Some argue that forgiveness is inevitable, citing Cain's unwavering love and moments of genuine remorse. Others counter that the cumulative weight of his mistakes may leave indelible scars, suggesting that partial forgiveness or ongoing tension is a more realistic trajectory. This debate reflects the richness of the storytelling, highlighting the careful balance between drama, realism, and character development that The Young and the Restless maintains. From a narrative standpoint, Cain's struggle for forgiveness allows the writers to explore themes of accountability, redemption, and familial loyalty in depth. By placing him in morally complex situations, the show forces both Cain and his children to confront difficult questions about trust, integrity, and the nature of love. These storylines resonate with viewers because they mirror the complexities of real-life relationships, offering both emotional catharsis and thought-provoking drama. Cain's journey is not just about him, it is about the evolving dynamics of a family learning to navigate betrayal, disappointment, and hope. As the story progresses, it is likely that Cain will continue to face obstacles that test his commitment to rebuilding these relationships. Each challenge, whether it be business rivalries, romantic complications, or past secrets resurfacing, will provide opportunities for character growth and potential redemption. The audience will be watching closely, analyzing every gesture, word, and decision, weighing the authenticity of Cain's efforts against the lingering pain of his past actions. In conclusion, the question of whether Cain's kids will ever forgive him on The Young and the Restless is far from simple. It is a question that encompasses personal growth, familial dynamics, moral complexity, and the high-stakes drama of Genoa City. While the path to reconciliation is fraught with challenges, there is reason to hope. Cain's enduring love, willingness to confront his mistakes, and the narrative structure of the show all suggest that forgiveness, while difficult, is not impossible. Whether it manifests fully or partially, the journey itself promises rich storytelling, emotional resonance, and a deep exploration of what it truly means to repair the bonds of family. As viewers, we remain captivated, eager to see how Cain's story unfolds and whether his children will ultimately embrace him again. The drama, suspense, and emotional stakes continue to make this one of the most compelling arcs in recent Young and the Restless history, ensuring that every twist, confrontation, and tentative step toward reconciliation will be watched, analyzed, and passionately debated by fans around the world. Cain's journey toward earning forgiveness is further complicated by the long shadow of past betrayals, both real and perceived. Over the years, viewers have witnessed Cain caught in situations where his intentions were noble but the outcomes disastrous. These moments have left his children conflicted, unsure whether to trust his promises or brace for inevitable disappointment. On one hand, Cain has shown remarkable dedication to his family, often stepping into dangerous or morally gray situations to protect those he loves. On the other, he has occasionally allowed ambition, ego, or external pressures to cloud his judgment, leading to decisions that hurt his children in profound ways. This duality is central to the ongoing debate among fans, is Cain a flawed hero or a man whose missteps are simply too many to overlook? The tension is especially pronounced in the eldest of Cain's children, who has increasingly taken on a voice of moral authority within the family. Unlike younger siblings who may still see Cain in a more forgiving light, the eldest grapples with the tangible consequences of his father's actions. They have had to navigate broken trust, public embarrassment, and the sense that the family's stability can never be taken for granted. The showrunners have used these storylines to explore the notion that forgiveness is not an automatic given, even in a family bound by love. Instead, it is a negotiation, a slow recalibration of trust that depends on transparency, accountability, and consistent behavior over time. Meanwhile, Cain's younger children add another layer to the narrative, offering moments of innocence and hope amidst the tension. Their reactions to Cain's actions are less tempered by years of disappointment and more influenced by emotional connection and instinctual loyalty. However, their loyalty is not blind. Even the youngest are aware of the consequences of Cain's missteps. The juxtaposition of generational perspectives within the family highlights the nuanced ways in which trust and forgiveness are earned. The show's writing emphasizes that family dynamics are rarely simple. Love and disappointment, hope and resentment, coexist in complicated ways that resist easy resolution. Cain's own self-reflection is central to the story. Episodes have portrayed him wrestling with guilt, shame, and the fear of permanent estrangement. These moments are critical, as they allow viewers to see Cain not just as a character whose actions have consequences but as a man capable of introspection and change. The tension between his desire to make amends and the obstacles he faces, both internal and external, is a driving force in the narrative. Cain's introspection has been portrayed through heartfelt conversations, private moments of vulnerability, and even symbolic gestures meant to bridge the emotional distance between him and his children. Corporate drama in Genoa City continues to complicate Cain's personal journey. His involvement in high-stakes business deals, sometimes at the expense of his family's emotional well-being, has been a recurring source of tension. Children watching Cain navigate these arenas often see a side of him that is strategic, calculating, and sometimes ruthless. While these traits have their merits in a business context, they can be deeply alienating within a family setting. The show expertly balances these dual roles, illustrating how the demands of corporate life can spill over into personal relationships, creating situations where forgiveness becomes a test of patience, empathy, and resilience. Romantic entanglements further complicate Cain's path to redemption. Past relationships, especially those that ended in betrayal or scandal, have left lingering doubts in his children's minds. They have witnessed Cain's love life cause ripple effects throughout the family, reinforcing fears that he may prioritize romantic desires over familial obligations. Each new relationship is scrutinized not just for its immediate impact but also for what it reveals about Cain's character, values, and ability to remain accountable. Forgiveness, in this context, is as much about observing patterns of behavior as it is about responding to individual actions. The psychological realism of Cain's children is a hallmark of these storylines. They are portrayed as intelligent, emotionally complex individuals who process information, weigh evidence, and make judgments based on experience. Their responses to Cain's overtures of reconciliation are nuanced. Moments of hesitation, guarded hope, and cautious optimism coexist with anger, disappointment, and skepticism. This layered portrayal ensures that any eventual forgiveness will feel earned and authentic, rather than contrived for the sake of plot convenience. For fans, this realism adds depth and emotional weight, making the family drama resonate far beyond the soap opera format. External influences continue to shape the narrative. Friends, extended family members, and corporate allies all play roles in mediating, or inflaming, the conflict between Cain and his children. Characters who support Cain's redemption journey can amplify small gestures of goodwill, giving the children reasons to reconsider past grievances. Conversely, antagonists or opportunistic figures may exploit vulnerabilities, reminding Cain's children of previous betrayals and sowing seeds of doubt. This dynamic interplay heightens tension, providing the kind of suspense and unpredictability that keeps viewers returning for each episode. Fan engagement has become an integral part of the conversation surrounding Kane's forgiveness arc. Social media platforms, online forums, and fan theory communities are buzzing with speculation about how the storyline might unfold. Some argue that Kane's children will ultimately find it in their hearts to forgive him, citing his consistent expressions of love and moments of genuine vulnerability as evidence that he is worthy of a second chance. Others suggest that the wounds may be too deep, that partial forgiveness or ongoing conflict is a more realistic portrayal of familial reconciliation. This debate underscores the richness of the storytelling and the skill with which the showrunners craft multidimensional characters whose choices resonate with real-world emotional complexity. Scenes that hint at reconciliation are carefully constructed to maximize emotional impact. Small gestures, a shared meal, a candid conversation, or a moment of quiet support, carry outsized significance in the narrative. These moments are often juxtaposed against larger, high-stakes events, such as corporate betrayals or threats to family security, creating tension between private reconciliation and public chaos. Viewers are reminded that forgiveness is not a static achievement but an ongoing process, influenced by context, timing, and consistency of action. Kane's capacity for redemption is further tested by external crises that force him to act decisively in defense of his children. Whether through protecting them from corporate sabotage, shielding them from romantic manipulation, or confronting old enemies, these high-pressure scenarios offer opportunities for Kane to demonstrate reliability and courage. Such moments are pivotal. They allow the children to witness firsthand the depth of Kane's commitment, offering a pathway toward renewed trust. In classic soap opera fashion, each success or failure in these scenarios intensifies the emotional stakes, keeping viewers invested in every development.